Now we're ready to do a nozzle check, and this is one of the most important steps, and this is something that not only are we going to do this when we start up a new printer, but this is something that we do each day that we are at the location where the printer is to ensure that we have a healthy print head. When you do a nozzle check, it's always best done on a transparency. It does make seeing the white and the colors easier. These transparencies are available through any home office supply company. You might find them at a Walmart or a Kmart or any place like that, but you'll definitely find them at like a Staples or an Office Max or any kind of place that sells stationery and office supplies. When we put the transparency down, we want it to hang off the front about an inch, inch and a quarter, and we want to come to this side as far as we can, but we don't want to hit the cover here. Okay, so I'm going to just push this in now by hand, and that'll give me a better gauge to make sure that I'm not going to hit the side here. Okay, and now I'm going to set the height. So I'm going to simply hold the up bed button until it stops itself, and then I'm going to load this platen along with the transparency into the machine. So I hit the load button, it draws it into the machine. Now, to get into a nozzle check, we hit the menu button, we go down to test print using the arrow button, we hit the menu button, and we're on nozzle check. We hit the menu button again. Now, as far as manual and automatic, we always want to do a manual nozzle check. The automatic feature is there, but we don't use it because we find that it affects some of the other functions of the machine. So you don't want to use the automatic function. We want to use the manual. So while it's on manual, we hit the menu button, and now it's ready to print. Again, we have the carriage return symbol, so we hit the enter button. It is now going to print this test print. What we are looking for when we look at this, we want to see that there are no broken lines. So now that it is completed, I'm going to take a black shirt and a white shirt because black and white work the best, and I'm just going to set them down on the platen here just so that we can inspect this. Now, if I take the transparency and lay it on a light colored background, we can see if we inspect the different areas. The magenta, the cyan. Now the cyan has one little break in it. The magenta has no breaks. The yellow is the hard one to see, but it actually has no breaks, and the black has no breaks. So that actually looks very good. Now, we're looking to see that we have nice solid lines. If you have a break here or there, that's really not a concern as long as there aren't a lot of breaks and they're not grouped together. The other thing that we want to look for is we want to look to see if when we do this nozzle check, then we do one or two more head cleanings, and then we do another nozzle check, we want to see that the lines are not staying in the same place, because when the breaks stay in the same place, that indicates that we have a clogged nozzle. Now, to see the white better, we put it in front of a dark background, and on that dark background now, we can see that the white looks excellent. You got to look at all four of them. And we have no breaks in that white, so that is an excellent nozzle check. So that indicates that I have a nice healthy print head. We don't have to do any more head cleanings or anything in order to proceed to printing. If we did have a bunch of breaks, again, You always want to keep the previous nozzle check because you want to compare the most recent nozzle check to the previous one, because we want to see if there are any breaks in those lines, and again, most importantly, if those breaks are staying in the same place or if they're moving around.